Today we're gonna be showing you our best storage unit find ever.
Top 10 best storage unit finds ever.
So every now and then when we don't have units, we love to redo these top 10s just to show you the best things we found. And trust me, since we moved to California, this list has changed drastically. A lot different this time. So we're gonna show you our top 10 big money items this time around. Let's go through it and show you just how crazy this could be on the good days. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new. Let's do it. Number 10 on this list is gonna be a little bit weird. So they could be our biggest money items, but there's also some weirdness that goes along with it. And that's gonna be the different vehicles we have found in storage units. We have found a car in a storage unit. We have found a motorcycle in a storage unit. We actually got 2 massive boats in a storage unit. One of them could have easily been worth over $30,000. $30,000. By the way, take a guess. How much do you think this is right here? How much do you think it is? I think it's a good amount, but I'm not gonna tell you how much it is. Just take a guess. But anyway, the sad part about this is depending on your state, depending on the facility doing the auction, there's a lot of factors that go into vehicles. We didn't get to keep any of the vehicles we found in storage units, unfortunately. It's just the way it goes, but I just wanted to include this on the list because it could be like $30,000 to $50,000 worth of stuff, but unfortunately we didn't get to keep it. But if you're in other states, different companies, there's a lot of factors, but you could get lucky. And you may have been able to keep the boats. You may have been able to keep the car and the motorcycle. Just depends on where you are. So vehicles, definitely gotta make it into the top 10.
All right, so number 9 on this list is actually the Jordan haul that I believe we pulled from DC unit. This unit had, I don't know, probably about 20 to 30 pairs of Jordans. A lot of Jordans. I don't know the exact amount. But after reselling all of them, they were all in good condition. We probably banked like $600 or $700 worth of Jordans. Jordans sell well, so if you find Jordans and they're in good condition, keep them and resell them. So those had to definitely make our list.
But what's the craziest part about that unit? It costs 20 bucks. That's it. $20 unit. $20 unit. $600-700 profit. That's how we roll. Number 8 on this list also came out of Maryland before we came out here to California, and this was a Louis Vuitton purse. So we have had very bad luck with these things. Out of like the 30 or 40 we found, I think we have found just this one and one other one that were ever actually real. The one that was real before, one of them was not worth very much, but this one was a very weird, fancy looking one that had like a V on it and all this stuff. Anyway, retail apparently it was worth like $1,400, but we ended up getting $700 off of that purse. And the crazy part about it was the whole unit only cost us $160, and there was a lot of other amazing stuff that came out of that unit. But when you can sell one single item in a unit for multiple times what you paid for the whole thing, you know you're doing very, very good. Number 7 on this list is not as high of a money value item, but it was just something I wanted to find my whole life. And that was the first time we found I don't know if I can say the word anymore on YouTube, but these thingies in Richmond, Virginia, back on the East Coast. When we ended up, we didn't sell it, but it was only valued at about $300. Not a very high money item, but I think if I remember correctly, we only paid $100 for that unit. So to get a $300, thingy out of it that was very, very lightly used. I would think maybe less than 100 rounds put through it in its whole life. So to get a nice $300 one for $100 out of a unit, that was really, really good. Plus the other stuff in there, we made a lot more than we paid on that unit too. So had to include it in the top 10 because when I first started this, those thingies were the things that I look for all the time. My favorite thing to see and find in a storage unit, easily.
All right, so number 6 on this list is actually the camera bag that we found in the safe and painting unit. But this unit overall looked tossed when we were bidding on it, but once we got down to it and in it, we actually found one camera bag. And the crazy thing about it is when we first listed this stuff, it went up as a lot and didn't sell at all. But once we pieced everything out, made about $600-700 as well on that, which profited pretty quickly from that unit. Everything else was great.
It really taught the lesson to piece things out. We listed all of that stuff as a lot for $500 or $400, $400 or $500, I don't even remember. Never sold. Pieced it out piece by piece, made like $700 on it in a unit that looked like they had already taken what they want out of it. You just never know. Number 5, one of my also favorite things to come across in a storage unit, came out of probably our best storage unit yet. We'll come back to this one a little bit later in the list, but we don't want to spoil the surprise or anything. But in this unit, we paid $250 for the unit, and then think about 3 boxes was just loaded with vintage video games. We found a Super Nintendo in games, a Sega Genesis, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64. Oh man, I forgot what else is in there. A whole lot. But the most expensive one out of all of them was a little handheld thing I had never seen before called the TurboGrafx, right?
Yeah.
TurboGrafx thing. And that thing on its own sold for what we paid for the unit. So once it was all said and done, we installed all the systems and all the games and all the accessories. It was between $700 and $800 just for the gaming stuff that we sold out of that unit. But like I said, we're gonna come back to this unit and you're gonna see it a little bit later. Not gonna say anything about it yet, but you will see this unit later. It was one of our best, actually I'm gonna say it was our best unit we ever bought since we started this.
Alright, so number 4 on this list is the rock collection that we found in the $300 safe unit. That's the main reason we bought the unit, but inside was a huge array collection of crystals, gems, and rocks. I don't really know the difference in names, but those 3 things. So after getting it appraised by the guy, like I said, I tried my best. It ended up being like $1,500 to $2,000. However, we were visiting California the first time and couldn't get that much, but otherwise, we would have definitely got at least $1,500 for all of that stuff.
That's one of the saddest units. First we had to go. We had like 5 days to sell it, and we got a lot less.
We had to rush
how much, but we got more than we paid for the unit. We'll say that much. But yeah, we had to rush it. Number 3 on this list. Before I even talk about it, take this into consideration. This was our second storage unit we ever bought. Number 2. This is probably the reason we got so spoiled by these things. In our first unit, it didn't quite make this list, but we did find a collection of records that we sold for like $400, and we only paid like $100 something for the unit, so we were hooked. And then we go out to get unit number 2, and well, we find around $1,000 in cash money. So the crazy part about this is, with only money we found at the storage facility when we were going through stuff was a bunch of ones and a bunch of $2 bills. So we were like, okay, whatever, that's still good. We only paid, I think, like $70 for it, something like really cheap. So $70, and we found like $50 to $60 worth of ones and twos. So we're like, okay, this unit's pretty much free at this point. But as we're home, we go through stuff in more detail, and in the envelopes, it was like little envelopes that people, like the bills you get in the mail, and for some reason, they had stuffed cash in the bill envelopes. I don't know why. Just tons and tons of cash. And the crazy part about it was, it had to be stored for ages, because like the $100 bill and a lot of the bills are like from the 60s and 70s, really old bills that look like super fresh. So they were probably in these envelopes for a lot of years. But once we counted it all up, we ended up with like $800 and some dollars or something like that in US cash, and then we had like over $1,000 in some other country. I don't even remember what it was. Guatemalan money. Whatever we had ended up being like close to another $100 in US cash, but that was unit number 2. And at this point we were like, man, we're gonna be rich now. This is all the storage units are gonna be. We buy one for $100 something and just get $500 in records, and buy a second one for $70 and find $1,000 in cash. Little do we know, those are probably still two of our best top 10 units ever right now. Almost 200 units into this, but the $1,000 cash, remember in this kind of business, cash is king. Cash is king, cash is cash. It's just, when you see it, I've said this before, we can buy a unit for $200, and if I see a $20 bill, I'm like flipped out. Like, money! We got money! It's money! It's money!
Instant non-resale. So, point to learn. If you're in this business, check everything. Check pockets and clothes, check envelopes, check any crevice in anything, and you could find a gold mine. Alright, on to number 2 on this top 10 list. So number 2 came out of a $100 storage unit where we had tossed aside a Coke can, a simple Coca-Cola can that ended up being a stash can after going back to it because it felt different. It felt different. We heard something different. It wasn't just liquid in there. So going back to it, I think it was what, 6 rings or so?
I don't even remember.
There was a stash of rings and paper towels is what I remember, and we actually sold those for $3,000 out of a $100 unit. So this endpoint, again, you go back to number 3, the 1K cap. You have to check everything.
Number 1, going back to that storage unit where we found all the gaming consoles, we had copper artwork that we did not think anything of. We literally thought It's a nice piece of wall hanger that they probably got at like a Ross or something for 30 or 40 bucks. We were just about ready to sell those things for like 5 or 10 bucks a piece at the flea market. Didn't think nothing of it
but
until
with the help of you guys,
started blowing the comment section up to look into these things, and sure enough, they were done by some famous artist that had passed away. And it's 6 copper panels that all go together to form a piece that goes on the wall. And these things were appraised at $25,000 years ago.
2002.
Yeah, years ago. 2002 for $25,000. Let's not forget, 17 years have passed, so money goes up. And more importantly, it's sad, but again, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The artist has passed away, so when that happens, the value again goes further up.
Because they can't make anything.
Exactly, they can't make anything else, so the value is worth even more.
Yeah, so it's kind of confusing, but one good thing that we just received, actually, we had contacted the artist's wife, or late wife, not late wife, she's still here, but his wife, and she actually sent us supporting documents saying that this stuff is real and gave us her authenticity saying it is real. So that will definitely help us further with this copper piece.
I don't really know how much something like this is going to go for. We had a $25,000 appraisal. Some people said they think it's an insurance appraisal, which is a lot higher than it should be. We have no idea, but even if it sells for 4K, which is amazing. We paid $250 for the unit. If it sells for 4K, it's still our best find of all time. So we had to put it at number 1. The worst, I mean, the cheapest one I ever seen sell years ago was for $3,000, and that was from the artist itself for a charity event. So I think we're gonna get more than that. Even at $3,200, it's still number 1 on the list. Number 0. I feel stupid for adding this in, but I wanted to. This didn't really come out of a storage unit, but it's the result of going through storage units. So I guess, would you consider that a storage unit find? It wasn't found in the storage unit, but then again, it's a result of the storage unit. So a storage unit byproduct.
It's number 0.
A storage unit byproduct is the 100,000 subscriber silver YouTube play button. By far more valuable than everything else I listed. If somebody came to my house and offered me $1 million in cash tomorrow for that, I would show them out. Goodbye. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. Offer me 10 million cash. See ya. See ya. No. That thing's like invaluable to me, really. So I just wanted to put it as number 0. I don't know why. It sounded cool because it came from a result of all these storage unit videos. So in its own way, it's weirdly a storage unit piece because that's really what got us here. So I thought we'd include that. I thought it made a cool little ending to this.
Alright guys, so we hope you did enjoy this top 10 video. We always want to give you guys an updated ones as we go along in our storage unit journey because we find better and better things. And hopefully a year from now we can give you our top 1 that's worth like 50,000.
100,000.
So, yeah, I mean even up from there.
Million!
Hopefully the storages will give us better luck from this point forward. So if you did enjoy it, leave it a big fat thumbs up, and if not already, hit that subscribe button for awesome treasure hunting videos all the time. And if you do want to follow us on our social media, links are going to be on screen, or just click the links down in the description below. Make sure you follow us on whatever you have. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.